What's up, Maniacs? Week 1, 2017 in full effect. We went 2-0 on Thursday night, and we're back for a full slate of games on Sunday. I already posted the picks. A massive 2-0. We had Kansas City plus 8.5. They didn't even need it. They won on the field. That's how we do it here. And we had the over 48. Kansas City almost scored 48 points on their own. So we hit it big, just like the big boys do, only we're square. That's more of a circle, but you know what I'm saying. So we got a full slate of games here for Sunday for all your watching pleasure. Hopefully you can bust your bookie once again with all of my picks. Last year I went 67%, which is absolutely unheard of. But this year we're going to continue that. Only the best can continue that. I'm hoping to hit at least 60% of the games. And we're going to knock it out of the park. So we got a whole selection of games for you. Hold on a second. Curveball. So there's a lot of things going on that I wanted to talk about. I got a new show that I want to start called Get Off My Lawn, and it's going to deal with sports and stuff like that. I don't even know if I'm going to get it off the ground, but I want to try. And that I'm going to start next week. We had a lot of technical difficulties for this week. This video was going up late. That's why I posted my picks early so you could have them. Slider. So we're going to deal with some topics that are going on in sports and life and stuff like that, and hopefully we can provide some entertainment for you, for me, for everybody. And let's get started with the week 1. Hold on one second. Fastball. I got a lot of things going on, all right? So just ignore that stuff. Don't worry. There's nothing important. Don't worry about it. All right, so week 1, here we go. The first game I'm going to give you is Atlanta on the road at Chicago. Atlanta -6. Normally I would, and before we even get on that, make sure that you buy down on the favorites and buy up on the underdogs. So buy up a half a point to a point, sometimes more if you have to. This one, I don't think you're going to have to worry about. I don't even know why they're only giving 6 on the road. Atlanta's probably just going to blow their doors off. If you're only going to make one bet this weekend, for the rest of the weekend, take Atlanta. They're going to blow their doors in. All right, so Atlanta -6 over Chicago, in Chicago. The next team we got, Philadelphia, is going to be on the road at Washington. Philadelphia was a 2-point underdog. Now they're a 1-point favorite. Normally things don't swerve that much, but going from an underdog to a favorite. But I think the addition of LeGarrette Blount was huge for Philadelphia. Now that they got a running game, I don't think they're going to have Carson Wentz do as much as he had to do last year. Last year he had to throw a lot more than he really should have, and it ended up being a disaster for him. It started out great, but ended up being a disaster. So hopefully he can get back to that form from early of last season and take care of the Redskins. The Redskins lost a lot. I don't even know who the heck that guy's going to throw to. I can't remember that quarterback's name, but Kirk Cousins. He don't have nobody to throw to. I don't know what's going to happen on that part. So take Philadelphia -1. If you want to buy that one down a half a point or a point, it would be well advised. But I don't think you really need to. But hey, better to be safe than sorry. The next game we got, Detroit is at home with Arizona. Detroit was a 2-point favorite. Now they're a 2-point underdog. I don't even know why that is. It's probably a sucker bet because there's no reason that Detroit, they should be favored by 3 points. It should be the token 3-point handicap that if the teams are even and the road team usually gets 3 points. But they're giving the home team 2. So it's probably a sucker bet, and I'm a sucker, so I'm going to take the 2 points. And I just don't understand. Arizona's not that much better than them. I'm not even sure that they're actually better than Detroit, but they're on the road, so I just don't get it. So Detroit +2. The next one we got. God, I got a lot of favorites today. All right, Tennessee, minus 2.5. They're at home. They're getting the Raiders coming in. Both teams, I would say, are pretty even. So, again, it should be the token 3. So you're only giving up 2.5. You might want to buy that one down to 2. This game is probably going to be close, but I expect Carolina to win by at least a field goal. And there's a lot of hype on Oakland, but lately some of that hype has actually started to come on Tennessee too. But I'm going to stick with Tennessee at home, minus 2.5. Before I do the 2 over-unders that I have, I'll go to the 4 o'clock games. Give me the Rams. This is pretty funny. Give me the Rams minus 4.5. When in the last couple of years have you ever been able to say that? Rams minus 4.5. They're playing an equally putrid team in the Colts. So this game is going to be unwatchable. That's about as best as I can put it. However, I think there's money to be made here. I'll take the Rams minus 4.5. That one, if you can buy them down to 3, might be a good idea. It's gonna cost you, but it's gonna be well worth it. The next team, Carolina, and the Rams were at home, by the way, over the Colts, so that's why I like them. Carolina is going to be on the road, minus 4.5 to San Francisco. It's going to be a tough game, but San Francisco, I just don't know how they're going to move the ball. Carolina's defense, they were banged up. They had lost that guy Josh Norman, and I think now with a year again under their belt, I think they're going to be able to do some things and bounce back. They had a rough year last year. They were actually winning that first game, which set the tone for the whole year, I think. That first game, they had it well in hand, and somehow they ended up blowing it. And that's the way their whole season went for the rest of the year. So I expect them to come out of the gates kicking ass, and I don't think you're going to have to worry about that 4.5. I don't think you're going to have to buy that one down. So Carolina minus 4.5 on the road to San Francisco. And then I normally don't like playing these primetime games, but I'm going to take the Giants, the G-Men, plus 4.5. Why they're getting 4.5 at Dallas is beyond me. Probably because Ezekiel Elliott's playing. But again, this should be a token 3 for the teams that are evenly matched. These teams are evenly matched. The Giants seem to have their number, and I think that's going to continue. But hell, with 4.5, I'll take that all day. If it was 3, I might have to think about it. But 4.5, I'll take that all day. All right, so you got your 1 o'clock games, your 4 o'clock games. You got 2 there, and I gave you the 8 o'clock game. Don't even get me started about tomorrow night's game. All right, so 2 over-unders I'm going to give you are both overs, because I hate betting the unders. So the over in the Tennessee-Oakland game, which is 50.5. It's a lot of points, but I expect a lot of points to be scored. It should be a fairly close game. So if they get into the 20s, that game is going to go over. So over 50.5 for that for the Tennessee-Oakland game. And then the over in the Baltimore-Cincinnati game, which is 41. That might be a sucker bet, but I'll take the over in that game. I expect some good things. Cincinnati at home tends to score a lot of points. So if you can get some points out of Baltimore, just a few, even, 17, that game should go over. All right? You're going to have I'm going to give you a couple other things. A couple of teams to play on the money line. Detroit at home getting 2.5. You play them on the money line, you should get some good value there. And the Giants should win that game too. So you're gonna have those 2 underdogs. You play them on the money line to win. You're gonna get some good value there because the Giants are getting 4.5. So their money line should be, I don't know, 120, 130. That wouldn't be too bad. Same thing with Detroit. That's probably gonna be, I don't know, 110. Maybe even parlay that. Do a 2-team money line parlay with the Giants in Detroit, and you might be able to go to Hawaii after this. All right, people. I hope you guys had a good summer. It's a beautiful fall day out there. Go outside and get some things done. I already did. But it's great to be back. And we're going to continue making you guys money, and we're going to break your bookie. Number 9, these picks are absolutely free. Absolutely free. The one to turn to. Thanks, people. We'll see you next week.